Hello to my beautiful listeners today. It is Kim back again with another episode of the Self-Love Witch podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Today's episode, I'm getting right to the point because it's important. It's the new year. Happy New Year, you guys. Happy New Year. It's 2023. 2023, from what I have gathered from amongst my friends and peers and loved ones, January started off a little, I don't want to use the word chaotic, just a little, okay, I'm gonna use chaotic. It started off a bit like, wow, like, okay, you're really gonna make me have to work. 2023 has started off very much so. As we know, 2023 is, if you add up the numbers, it's a 7-year. 7 years are very spiritual. It's very much a year where you are going to be revealed all the aspects of your spiritual self, your spiritual body. And if everything in your spiritual body is going to come forth, you're going to see yourself for who you truly are. You're going to dig deeper into who you are spiritually. You're going to see more things in life from a spiritual or energetic perspective. I feel like that has definitely been huge for me, and it's only been month 2. I feel like when I'm out and about and I see people and I meet people, I don't even see them. I see their energy. It's been very magnified, and it's also a 7 personal year for me personally when I add up my date of birth and this year. So definitely have an emphasis on the 7 year. Every year the energies are very maximized for me. So yeah, it's something. But you guys, happy new year, happy blessings. I hope you guys are having a smooth transition into this new season, new time of life. Today's episode, I want to talk about staying true to yourself in the midst of chaos, or in the midst of change or transition, or even in times where you're in a sense of not knowing, or just having to deal with the unknown. Or even when you're in a situation where you feel like you're changing and you kind of are thrown away by it, or you're kind of being introduced to new parts of yourself, new aspects of yourself. I wanted to speak on tips and the importance of just staying true to yourself and having self-compassion. That is such a huge thing, self-compassion, that I don't feel like we talk about a lot, man. Especially if you're a person that holds yourself to certain standards within life, and you have a lot of integrity. You like to move about life in a specific way. You like to exist in a particular way, as we all do. But I do feel we have some people in life who emphasize their morals and values more than others, and really uphold those more than others. And that's not to be said in a shady way, but that's just a fact within life. You have some people who stand by their morals and integrity no matter what. You have some people who they're pretty bendable with that. And I feel even with both kinds of people, if you're someone who you guilt trip yourself a lot, you feel like you should be this specific way, you should have this, you should be acting like this, you should say this, you shoulda, coulda, wouldas, that kind of marinate in your mind and take the joy out of things. This is for you. I want you to have self-compassion. Be kind to yourself. Be kind, be gracious with yourself. And even those who you allow yourself more room to just be, and you learn that you do not have to be anything. You don't have to operate any specific way. You can choose how to do this on a day-to-day basis. Your morals, your values can change every day because you're learning yourself. And I feel like as human beings, I feel like one thing we were not told growing up in life as an adult is that, when I was 15, I thought 25 was like, the ultimate adult age. I'm currently 27. When I tell you, I feel like a baby to this adulting life. I feel like even when I hit 30, I'm still going to feel like, oh, wow, like certain things blow my mind. And I feel like that's how it should be. I feel like at every age, no matter what age you get to, you've never been there before. And there's a lot to learn. There's a lot that comes with every year of life. And one thing I never want to do is just start to believe that when I get to a certain time of my life, or when I get to a certain area of my life, that I know it all, because you never know it all. And honestly, knowing it all takes all the fun out of everything, to be honest. I like the thrill. I like learning new things. I like not knowing everything. I like having spaces and expansion and areas to learn in. So I feel like self-compassion is a big thing that I feel like we need to all accept and use on a day-to-day basis. I try to look at myself as a kid. You know, every time I do it myself, I really do it myself from their perspective of me dealing with myself as my inner child. Because at the end of the day, yes, I'm an adult, but I still have those same dreams that were in me as a child, those same perspectives as a child. Not saying that I operate from my child space, but I feel like aspects of the child space, when we get to a certain age, we're told to dead it all. I don't feel that way. I feel like children are the closest source to creator in terms of their mind. They're not poisoned by the BS, by the media, by, crazy upbringings, crazy environments. I feel like children usually come into this world very pure, very, very godlike, very angelic-like, and their minds are so pure, and they're huge dreamers, and they don't put limitations on themselves. They don't guilt themselves. They exist freely. That's why I love children so much. I love seeing children that are just free like the wind. I love seeing children like that, because that's how you're supposed to be. But we get into this world, we start getting robotic. We start thinking we need to be, we should be, we need to be doing this, we have to be doing this. And I feel like that's why so many people get depressed, and so many people get down, and so many people get down and out, and so many people hold themselves to standards that don't allow for self-compassion, because you're operating from spaces that don't honor where you are and don't honor who you are. There is no thought out plan as to how you need to be living life. You have to honor your spirit and where you are and what you want. We are all different. We all have different qualities. We all have different blessings and talents that we're meant to put into this earth. And you have to honor where your soul and your spirit guides you. And in the midst of transitions or things that just feel out of your control, I feel it's so important to stay true to who you are. It's important to have that compassion for yourself. And I also feel like it's important to have people around you that also have compassion towards you, and also have compassion about where you are currently. And just having a compassion for life. You know what I mean? As adults, I feel like I want to redefine wellness. I want to redefine what taking care of ourselves really means. I feel like the older we get, the more we look at self-care as like, washing my face, and that's cool. That's perfect. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? But I want to dig deeper, because I feel like we so often neglect the spiritual and mental and emotional aspects of ourselves. So I want to just talk about a few things that I feel like I want to, just put out into the earth, into the universe for you guys, for anyone listening, to hopefully encourage all of us to stay in tune with ourselves in the midst of chaos, and just be kind to ourselves. Life, if you look at it, it's all about perspective, right? Because I could say life is rough, but I personally don't believe life is rough. I just believe life is this beautiful thing, and we go through motions, and like water, we have waves of happiness, we have waves of lessons, we have waves of grief. We're going to experience every emotion, and it's all a part of life. It's all a part of living. I feel like we tend to overcomplicate things sometimes, though, because we start defining life by the terms of society or by the terms of capitalism, or just feeling like you need to have things to be happy. I feel like adopting a minimalist lifestyle has really calmed my anxiety and calmed my negative self-talk a lot, for sure. So I have a list here, and these are things that I feel like as adults, holistically, and when I say holistically, I mean, honoring the wholeness of our being. So the physical aspects, the emotional aspects, spiritual aspects, every aspect of our bodies, because we are more than just a physical body, and we are more than just a mental body. We're more than just an emotional body. We're also a spiritual body, an energetic body. So one of the main things I want to highlight right now, in honor of self-care, in honor of self-compassion, in honor of staying true to yourself, there are things that must first be implemented and prioritized. Number one, get some sun. Ooh, I wish I had those effects where I can get someone just a crowd just Listen, man, I'm gonna speak from my perspective. I currently work from home, and my shift is I work from the sun is up till the sun is down. My choice, because I'm off 3 days a week, and I only work 4. That was my choice. But I missed out on a lot of sun, and I'm not gonna lie. I used to get off at 4:30 in the afternoon. Every time I would get off at 4:30, I would go walk, take a walk at the park here and there. And since I haven't done that, I have definitely noticed a difference, just in my moods or my motivation or just my perspectives. And I know it's from a lack of sun. The sun is so important. It's so important to the human vessel, the human body. There are times when I have been coming down with a cold and I will go lay out in the sun, and I feel healed from just laying there for 20 minutes. Because I always say, if you're feeling like you're coming down with something, I always advise people, make you some green juice you some greens, juice you some vegetables, sip on that for like half the day, kind of do a fast, sip on that, get your system taking in all the nutrients from the vegetables, eat something really light that day, lay out in the sun, drink lots of water, eat some fruit, fruits with like berries, oranges, drizzle some honey on there, put some cinnamon on there. I'm very I have a specific ritual. If I ever feel something coming, drink you some herbal tea, all in that one day. But sun is like the main thing. Something about the sun heating up your body, which, if we look at it scientifically, I believe what I've read is when you lay out in the sun, or when any type of heat creates more blood flow, of course, and it helps your body fight things off quicker and easier. That's why you get a fever. If your immune system is in overdrive, because it needs that. It's a lot of energy. So I feel like when you naturally give yourself that heat, it allows your body to not have to work so hard, and you can kind of plus there's so much healing in the sun. Like the sun is so healing, just like the moon is healing. I believe laying out in the sun is just as healing as laying out in the moon, on a full moon or new moon. I definitely feel that. But next thing, let me see, because I have a list. Of course, get water. These things are pretty basic in the beginning. Get water, because as an adult, we tend to think we could survive on, alcoholic beverages, and sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I had my party era last year, y'all. I had my party era because I had my selfish year last year. I was a party girl last year. I don't regret it at all. But when I tell you, I was pretty much surviving off of liquor, and that's not good. That's not good. Of course, I was still a herbal tea drinker. I didn't, I wasn't completely, don't take that literally. But I was definitely not having a balance. And Definitely drinking water. I've seen the effects. If you ever have a down mood, get in the sun and drink. First of all, just drink you a glass of water. See how you feel after that. Drink about 2 glasses of water, because we have to look at things in our moods and just our energies throughout the day as more than just a simple reaction to something happening in the physical. I feel like there's so much more to it. Biologically, you need to make sure your body is healthy. You need to make sure your body is getting all the nutrients that it needs, because if your body cannot operate properly, if you're not feeding yourself properly, if you're not feeding yourself life, if you're not giving yourself exercise, if you're not getting your body moving, your body's not going to work properly. You do have to take care of this vessel. This vessel is not solely operating just because you have a soul within it. You also have to take care of it physically, for aspects of it to work properly, aspects of our body to work properly. They are separate, in a sense. They're all connected, but they also are separate. They also require different maintenance, which is why I want to emphasize this episode, because physically, you want to take care of yourself and make sure you're exercising, make sure you're drinking your water, make sure you're drinking your fruits and vegetables or eating them. You also want to make sure, with your emotional body, that you are being compassionate with yourself and that you are learning how to regulate your emotions and not letting your emotions take over your day, not letting your emotions take over your thought process, your logic. And then when it comes to, that also goes hand in hand with your mental body, but your energetic and spiritual body, there are aspects that go hand in hand with all of that. If one is off, they're all off. And I feel like that's why holistic health is such a beautiful thing, because it emphasizes everything. So next, I want to emphasize, please have your social time. Please do not duck off. Please do not hide in rooms. Stay out of the dark rooms, man. Stay off the TVs for too long, Stay off the phones for too long. Please go live your life. Please go interact with people. Please walk in the sun. Please go to social events. I don't care if you have to go alone. I don't care if you have to go in spaces and network. Do it, please. For the love of God, please go out here and please enjoy the natural, free things of life. The free joys of connecting with others, the free joys of making friends, of meeting people, of being around different spaces is so important for the brain. I feel like I keep emphasizing this. I feel like as we become adults, we feel like we've got it all figured out. We neglect a lot of aspects of things that are so integral to being a healthy human being. We need social interactions. We need people around that love us, people that make us feel safe. And another thing with that is, I feel like it's important to categorize our life, but also allow it all to flow with ease. One of my things that I'm learning how to do is how to navigate having romantic relationships, friendships, business, everything. And learning how to properly allocate time between all of those things and feel like I have a balance of my life. It definitely takes some time, and it's definitely something I'm learning. And I'm being gracious with myself through it all. You can't please everyone. You cannot please everyone. But you can be true, and you can be honest, and you can do your best. And honestly, I feel like that's all that really matters. And just stay true to yourself through it all. Don't let people guilt trip you. If you're wrong, you're wrong. Okay. But don't feel bad about the space that you're in. That's all a part of self-compassion. Don't ever feel bad about the space that you're in, and don't make people make you feel bad. If you need space for yourself, if you're not able to give time to people like you would like to, that's okay. That's okay. That's completely okay. You're not obligated to give people time. You can give people time when you feel like that is your God-given right. And people need to be okay with that. One of the things I want to emphasize the most, don't allow people to guilt trip you or make you feel like you are supposed to give time when you mentally, emotionally, physically cannot. If you are not there in that space, you're not there in that space. You are going to have moments where you're going to be social. You're going to have moments where you're like, okay, socializing right now is a bit too much for me right now, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not even that you don't want to be. It's not anything like that, but you have to honor every season of your life and every season of things that you need for yourself, because people always think you're here for them and you're existing here for them, and in reality we are existing here for ourselves to learn, to be evolved into the kind of person we want to be throughout life. So just be compassionate with yourself and make sure you have people who are compassionate with you. Honor all parts of yourself. Don't lose yourself in the midst of chaos. Don't lose yourself in the midst of rough times. Don't lose yourself in the midst of confusion, because we're going to have those moments, right? One of the greatest things that I've been internalizing recently, I want to say for the last few months, is that I always say this: life is never done giving. And it's always important to redefine your relationship and your definition of certain terms when it comes to life, because you learn so much, you go through so many things, you gain so much wisdom, and I feel like it's good to redefine words. It means you're paying attention. It's good to redefine what things mean to you. It's good to rearrange your priority list if you need to. It's good to switch up your passions if you want to, or if that happens. I just feel like sticking to a strict list of who you are as a person, your values and things, those may remain the same. They may shift, they may change. You can't be rigid with yourself. I feel like that's what causes a lot of issues with us as people. We don't allow ourselves to just be and just flow and evolve naturally with life. You're going to shift. Your perspectives are going to change. The people or the things that you enjoy, they're going to shift. They're going to change. They are. And I feel like honoring that process of detachment to the point where you're not detached from your experiences with life, but just detached from the outcomes all the time. You just kind of have to embrace who you are and where you are, and don't be so attached to the outcome of who you are either. You can have a goal and a vision for yourself. Keep going for that. You can have certain goals you want to attain. But when it comes to who you are, you have to give yourself room to evolve into who you naturally are. You know what I mean? But, yes, I wanted to put this out into the universe. I hope it's helped somebody. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Please tune in. Message me at the Self Love Witch Podcast on Instagram. I always want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys want to hear next. I will be coming out with another episode for Wednesday. For Wellness Wednesdays, we will be talking on holistic health, wellness, all types of things like that. We're going to talk herbs. We're going to talk natural foods, healing, all types of things like that. I'm so super excited. I'm going to start featuring people on that segment. We're also going to start coming forth in video format soon. I'm getting that arranged for you guys. I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Really give our podcast a very live, very visual effect, because I enjoy talking, into my phone, but I want to get to the scene where I am laid out, have my setup. I have the microphone, and I am going in, and I am having guests, and we are getting to nitty gritty. I want all the local. If you're in Florida, I want all the local. I don't even care if you're not in Florida, because we can do webcam, video chat interviews. I want all the magical ladies and all the magical men and magical no pronouns people to please come to me. Please come to me. I want to connect with you all. I want to build this community. I want this platform to be a beautiful, safe space for all the Black, magical people in the world. I want us to have a space, all the spiritual people, to have a space to just exist, and talk real life things and not feel the need to hide the magical aspect or magical parts of themselves. I want us to really have a safe space, and I really want to create that. So please tune in. Don't be afraid to email me at the selflovewitchpodcast@gmail.com. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. Hope you guys have a beautiful, blessed day. Stay magical, stay beautiful, and stay great. Peace.